Hello dear kids, welcome back to your English e-learning class. I hope you all are fine and enjoying the festivals at home with your family. But kids, do not forget to take care of yourself and your family by maintaining social distance and wearing masks. This is not only for your personal safety, but it is also a social responsibility. So stay at home and stay safe. Now coming back to today's lecture. Today's lecture is lecture number 11, where we are going to start chapter 8, which is kinds of adjectives from your Cornerstone Grammar and Composition Skill book. In this chapter, kids, we are going to learn about adjectives, definition of adjective, and various types of adjectives as well. In your previous classes, kids, you have learned that an adjective describes a noun. So let us start with the definition of adjectives. An adjective describes a noun or pronoun both. An adjective answers what kind, which one, how many. That means whenever a question is asked from a sentence about noun or pronoun, it will answer what kind of, which one, and how many. Example, pretty girl. So, pretty is describing girl. That roof. The word that is describing roof. If we ask which roof, it will answer that roof. 5 frocks. Now the word 5 is describing frocks. So 5 frocks. In your previous classes, kids, you have learned types of adjectives like adjective of quality, quantity, and number. But this time we are going to learn few more. So let us start revising with adjective of quality. The adjective that tells us about the kind a person, thing, or place is are called adjectives of quality. That means all the adjectives which describes the kind of a person, thing, or place are called adjectives. Like Mukesh Ambani is a wealthy man. So what kind of man is Mukesh Ambani? He is a wealthy man. So wealthy is describing Mukesh Ambani. So this is an adjective of quality. I read an interesting book. So what is the kind of book it is? Interesting book. So interesting is describing book. So that is adjective of quality. The beautiful garden is a good place to relax. Now how's the garden? Beautiful. So what kind of garden it is? Beautiful. That's why beautiful is an adjective of quality. Now adjective of quantity. The adjectives, that means the words that tell us how much of a thing is meant or we are talking about, are called adjectives of quantity. Like give me some food. We are not defining exactly how much food we want. Give me some food. There is little water in the pot. There is little water in the pot. In this sentence, water is defined as little. Exact quantity we don't know, but little is a measure which we use for water. In a picture that is given here, you all can see how much water is there in the jug. Now you have not measured exactly how much water is in the jug. So what you will say? There is much water in the jug because the jug is filled with water. Whereas in the second jug, there is little water in the jug. Why? Because you can see hardly any water in the jug. So it is little water. So these are the adjectives which describes the quantity of a noun or pronoun. Now moving to the next adjective, that is adjectives of number. Now adjectives of number are the words that tell how many persons or things are meant. That means with the name itself we can recognize that which tells us about the number of nouns or pronouns. there are 20 bananas in this bunch. So how many bananas are there? 20. The animal shelter has many animals. Now, in the first example, you can see the quantity was countable, that is 20. But in the second one, we have not counted it, but we know many are there. So, many is also a adjective of number. In the third example, keep all your books in the cupboard. Now, because your books are countable, it will be all. If you know the exact number, you can write the exact number. But if you use all is used for adjectives of number. Now, moving to the next adjective, that is ordinal numbers. Adjectives that tell us about the position or the order of things in a series are called ordinal adjectives. Order of series or position means like you come first in class, who comes second in class, who comes third in class. So first, second and third. We never say 1, 2 and 3. So that first, second and third are ordinal adjectives. Example, June is the 6th month of the year. We haven't said 6, we said 6th. So 6th is the adjective, ordinal adjective. Now next example, this is the 8th chapter of the book. 8th chapter, that means it is defining the number, but in series it is 8, not 8. So 6th and 8th here are the ordinal adjectives. Now moving to demonstrative adjectives. Before starting it, let me first tell you what are demonstratives. The word this, that, these, those, they are all demonstratives which are used to point out something. And demonstrative adjectives are the words used to point out some person or thing. Example, these mangoes are ripe. So mangoes are described by which word? These. So these is a demonstrative adjective. Those boys are talented. About which boys we are talking? Those boys. So those is describing word, that is demonstrative adjective for boys. Now you all can see on your screen, kids, this, that, these, those. Now this and these refer to the things that are close, whereas that and those refer to things that are far away. Like near, singular for singular, this, for far, that. For near, plural is these, and for far, plural is those. Now moving to our next adjectives, that is interrogative adjectives. Now kids, interrogative, it is very clear. In your previous classes you have also learned that interrogatives always they ask questions. So interrogative adjectives are words such as which, whose and what. These three are the words which are used as interrogative adjectives that are used along with nouns to ask questions. Now, interrogative words are used at many places, but when they are used along with nouns, they are called interrogative adjective. Like, whose book is lost? Now, whose is used along with book. That's why book is described by whose. What time is it? Now here time is described by what. Which color you want? Here color is described by which. And don't forget kids that when interrogative words like which, whose and what are used along with nouns, they are interrogative adjectives. Now moving to the last adjective, that is possessive adjectives. Now what are possessive adjective, kids? adjectives that show possession are called possessive adjectives. Now this is the definition. But how you will identify that it shows possession? Possession means belongingness. So when you ask question, they answer whose. That means if you ask question from a sentence whose, if it is answering whose, that will be possessive adjective. Example, this is my car. Whose car is this? My. So my is a possessive adjective. That is their car. Now whose car is it? Their. So there is a possessive adjectives. Some more words which are used as possessive adjectives are your, our, her, his, my, and their. These all are possessive adjectives that show possession or belongingness. I hope kids this chapter number 8 kinds of adjectives was clear to you all. If you have any doubt, then you can ask me tomorrow in your live session.